And I think the other thing that I always find really interesting about this from a kind of, overall business strategy point of view is you can see what's going on inside the business. You can see what's going on outside the business when you're analyzing the market, looking at supply chains and suppliers, but also you're getting feedback from suppliers as well, which I think is really interesting, particularly when you're dealing with professional services and consulting and things like that, where, these companies are taking a real kind of confidential inside look at businesses, and their feedback, in theory, could be extremely useful.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I always see myself as not only to support the business partner internally, but also externally, right? So having the ability to get feedback from multiple clients globally, I can then consolidate and be that one point person to say to the consulting firm or, whoever it is, hey, I'm hearing, across the organization, different things. Let's sit down and have a conversation about it. This is the feedback we have so that we can grow the partnership. We can make things work. But it really is a two-way street. So if we can give that information, but a lot of times we don't get it back in return. And sometimes we get it in droves. So it really depends on the supplier and how much they want to share. And then how much sharing we can do in return to be able to really help that relationship kind of grow. But we are, to me, in my opinion, that point person that is that kind of third party intermediary between the business and, the suppliers. And it's an interesting place to be because you have to almost go to bat for the suppliers sometimes internally when you're like, listen, we can't cut costs anymore. We can't have them, this isn't a nonprofit. And same thing with the business partners. At the end of the day, I have to do what's right for my business and making sure we're getting quality costs, right, all at a good level. But it's really kind of these conflicting things that you really have to balance.